I just received this box and it's really cold out there. This is just an empty book. I suppose that will be the manual later because even the box is still unbranded. It's about 1 kilogram. The build quality is really nice. 3G SDI, Ethernet, HDMI, mic and line inputs, USB 3 Type-C for data transfer and charging, SD card slot. I can still hold it with one hand. This is crazy. Other cameras that have optical zoom and this size lens are usually this big and I need to hold it with two hands and it's so heavy. Here we have the accessories, USB-C to USB Type-A. These cables are not for audio, they are for the RS-232. These in and out ports to link cameras together. USB-C cable, and it's plenty long. This is the other USB-C cable. Full disclaimer, everything I say in this video is my own honest opinions. I was not paid to say anything. However, OBSBOT did send me this camera to review. I did not buy it with my own money. And with that out of the way, I've been using it for a few weeks and I like it quite a lot. There's some features that I haven't seen in other cameras at all. And one of them in particular, I'm very excited about. So let's get into it. Here's what I'm most excited about. The sensor rotates inside the lens. That's crazy. So you can shoot in portrait mode or landscape without touching your setup. You can just click a button and rotate the whole sensor inside the lens. But that's not even what I'm most excited about. If the sensor can rotate inside the lens, it means that it's a gimbal. You can level your shots even if the camera is crooked. You can rotate the sensor manually, or even better, it will rotate on its own. Look at this. I'm yanking the camera left and right and the sensor remains stable, level. The image is level, and I'll show you an example of that. On the left side, you can see me moving the camera very aggressively. And on the right side is the actual video from the camera without stabilization. This is video straight out of the camera. Isn't that crazy? This is another example. I had the cable plugged in. It looks like the footage is stabilized, but it's not. It's the sensor module inside the lens that is rotating to keep the image level. Where do you find that in other cameras? You don't. It's literally a gimbal built in. I never thought I'd be able to use a PTZ camera handheld and have a stable image. But here we go. Now, because it levels the image on its own, if you don't want your frame to be level, you can rotate it manually plus or minus 10 degrees. As you can see in this example, I'm rotating and all the tracking works normally, and we'll get to that in a bit. And then reset the rotation and boom. It also has 12 times zoom, so I'm at the end of the church coming to the front and the camera is in the front. 5 times zoom is optical and the rest is digital zoom. But even with the digital zoom, the image quality remains very usable. And here's from the other side. It's following me perfectly. It's not jittery. The movement is very smooth. And I can also change the speed of the tracking if I want it to be slower or faster. Here's an example of me moving really quickly, and I am actually trying to make it confused and it's following me very accurately. And here's another example with slow tracking. Just walking, it's moving very slowly, and this is not distracting because if you have just a preacher or someone giving a presentation, talking, walking around, you don't necessarily want a very fast movement. And here's the camera following me. I'm still amazed at the size of this. You can see the other PTZ camera in the back of the room. It has roughly the same size lens, but the base of it is much bigger. So the size is definitely a win. I can still put it on the piano in the front and it wouldn't be distracting. I'm trying my best to show you real life examples because yes, I can just read you the spec sheet and say that it shoots in 4K and it does 60 frames or 120 frames at 1080p and streams to your phone, and you can stream to your favorite social media platform and do whatever. But you can read that on your own. You don't need me. So what I'm showing you here is what's actually important to me personally in my use case. Previously, I made a video about the Tail Air and I was really impressed with it. It's so small. It can do so many things. But I really wanted to see optical zoom. And this is the camera with optical zoom that is slightly larger than it. It's really small. It's still small considering what it can do, and it has optical zoom, and the tracking is incredible. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use the app and all the things you can do. You can, for example, double tap to track someone, or you can draw where you want to track. You have all the professional things that you need to use in a professional production. You have SDI, full-size HDMI, full-size network port for NDI, audio jacks, sync jacks, SD card. Now it's a micro SD. I would have loved if it was a full-size SD card like you use in the normal cameras. All these examples I showed you are shot in standard dynamic range. So if you see the highlights slightly too bright and the shadows slightly too dark, it's because at church we don't have good lighting. The spotlights in the ceiling are very harsh. And I got a pre-production unit, which by the way, I'm filming on it the whole video. So at that time, the HDR feature was not released yet. I just updated it, and this is how it looks with HDR. 1, 2, 3. This is how it looks without HDR. So you can see the shadows are much darker and the highlights are brighter. The image is crunchier. And again, I have very bad lighting. It's just that one light bulb behind my head. Let me just raise the camera to show you. I have this light bulb behind my head and nothing in the front. This is what's in front of me. Literally nothing, just a wall. So I'm getting this image quality with the HDR. Boom. The shadows are back. The highlights are much smoother. I can change the focus manually, of course, or I can set it to automatic and it focuses on my face. It also has gesture controls. So if I do this, it will zoom in, and right now it has a 2x zoom factor. I can change that. If I make it 4 and do this, it will zoom in even more, and that's really awkward. Now if I do this, it can follow me, and now I'm moving, it's tracking me. I do this again, it stops. I do this, it zooms back out. I do this, it records, but now I don't have an SD card inside of it. Also, they claim that the battery lasts 5 hours, and it actually does. I've used it multiple times at church, and usually the service is about 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. And each time I would still have a lot of battery left, even if I haven't charged it. And that's really kind of reassuring, especially during events like Christmas or Easter, where I might need to turn on the camera before the event and slightly after the event, and the event usually is maybe 3 hours long, and I don't necessarily want to find a plug to plug it in, so I can just charge it before coming, stay on 5 hours. It also integrates with 3D software like Unreal Engine, Cinema 4D, 3ds Max, Maya, Blender. I am genuinely impressed. Good job, OBSBOT. You outdid yourself with this one. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use the app on your computer and on your phone, because you can do a lot of things with this camera. So I'm going to run you through the settings. Now I want you to click on the video that's showing on the screen, and I will see you there.